week 6 was devoted entirely to planning. This was where I wrote my treatment and my beat sheet. I wrote them as one. This is where we wrote. This is where I brought my early story notes into play. I've been doing these for a while. Yeah, a lot of the biggest thing for me was the treatment and the beat sheet. The treatment, it allowed me to finally get everything down. The title as well has changed. Bear in mind, this is also temporarily horribly formatted. This will be properly formatted to look like everything else. It will see, as you can see, there's things out of order, like in the wrong places. It will be properly sorted out as soon as I get a chance to sit down and properly do it. I just wanted to get it slapped up on here for now. So yeah, as you can see, I have the treatment here on the Google Docs. If I get it up, it looks much better. Unfortunately, it hasn't translated well to Wix, which will be fixed. But as you can see, I've got the stuff about the characters. I've got the time race, written by me, when it was done, the log line, and I broke it down into acts. I also, pretty much save time and to keep it all in one place, I decided to incorporate it in the beat sheet into here. I added how many pages each would take and what significance it would play. For example, the setup was all listed as setup, and then it'd carry on. The inciting incident, the hook, how many pages all of this would take, and then how many pages the act would take. Act 1, Act 2, Act 1 coming in at 22, Act 2 coming in at 40, with the total so far being 62. And Act 3 coming in at 20, with 82 being the final page count. Which, to be fair, that follows a formula that I heard from, I can't remember where it was. 25. It should be 25% for your first and third act, and 50% for your second act. This sort of follows that. It is coming in on the shorter side. If there was, I don't know, I feel like there could be a few extra more pages. Like, I could probably push it to 90 to 100, but I don't want to force anything. I just don't want it to be forced, really. I feel like I can tell the story in 82 pages. Some of these guesses are sort of rough estimates, so I could just be plucking them out of nowhere. So yeah, it really did help though, because now I have an idea as to what's going to happen in every scene, what I need to write, and I can even use it as a checklist. I can print off a copy and just tick them off as I go. So hopefully this all comes together nicely. I think from what I have here, it should come together nicely. So yeah, this works. I don't know of any professional examples of people combining the treatment and the beat sheet. I think for me, I have a habit of writing really in depth when I write about my stories. Like, I've done, in total, just writing the story, easily 1,000 words, 1,700 words. So I do go in depth. So a lot of these may translate into if I wrote 4 pages, it might translate into 6 or 7. Like, it may become longer in post or in actual writing. So these obviously aren't final. Like, yes, this has got to stick to 2 pages. This is sort of what I'm predicting it to go at. And then my first draft will really be the one where I finally understand, like, yes, this is how long everything's going to take, and I can work on shortening it or improving it. I have also sent this off to be critiqued. I have friends who critique it, so I've sent it off to them to get critiqued. So hopefully when it comes to actually writing, I can get some more things to input. Any feedback will be added to my Wix. I'll try and add it to my Wix if I can remember. So yeah, I think this week was really helpful because I now know exactly what I'm doing. Going into next week, I really want to focus on there's a few key areas. With my experimentation, I want to focus on the title. I feel like that is a huge moment, that is a huge thing that I don't have nailed yet. I currently have Time Race being the leader. However, I think that sounds a little bit too corny, so I may end up changing it. It's better than Die 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 Again, which is the original title. But I will write about it all in my my experimentation. I'm also going to experiment with the one use of the F-bomb. As I've stated in previous parts, I'm going for the PG-13 rating, so the 12A rating. So I can have one use of an F-bomb, and I really want to have one impactful use, but I don't want to mess it up. So I want to experiment with a few scenes as to where it can play out. I also want to experiment with the use of paradox. I've called the future versions of the characters paradox versions, and that's explained in my research why. This is something that I really like. I want to experiment with, see if I can find something better, see if paradox works. I want to test the waters with it. There are 3 areas that I want to experiment with. Hopefully that'll work. I haven't written much about the characters, as you may notice. I've written so much about the characters in other pieces that I'll piece it together from my research, from my analysis. I'll piece everything together there. Even if I have to, I will compile a whole, just one slide of it, or one page of everything for them. I think a character profile for me, it's not the best way for me to develop a character. I find that my best way is just to start writing and ramble. That is my favourite way to develop characters, because I remember I intended to write a few lines about characters. I end up writing a whole page before. It's something that I know from experience has worked, so something I want to continue with, and it's something that I didn't feel was necessary. I've done it over time, multiple times here, so I sort of want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I just want to cool my jets a little bit. So yeah, going into next week, I just really want to nail my experimentation. So yeah, next week should be great.